Welcome to Tunnel Fits Podcast. This is season 3, and we are calling this season The Blueprint. And once we get into our guests today, you'll understand why we're calling this season The Blueprint. We're getting in deep with people who are truly into this, who started this, and who have their own movements. So, of course, I always have my co-host with me, K Self. Tell the people what up.
Yep.
And then we have Heather and Jasmine. And Heather is the W Ties movement that's going crazy right now. And Jasmine is CEO of Round21.
Yeah, and founder.
So each of you tell us a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll roll into questions.
Yeah, I'll also add Jasmine's also now we're partners. So
okay.
With the W Tie. So that's why I wanted her to be here too, because we're doing this together. I started the W Tie in June. And it started from a place of just creating one for myself for the Storm home opener game. And first I looked for one because I'm like, maybe they have them, and they only had like the hair ties. So I'm like, no, I want like a necktie.
Got it.
So I made one late at night, wore it to the game. And there was just something like, I don't know, I just felt like it was going to be something, I had this like really good feeling about it. And I had my partner, we always go to the same bar, Buckley's in Queen Anne in Seattle, right down the street from Climate Pledge. And like, let's take some photos over here, and so she took some photos, and I'm like, posted them, and I'm like, oh, I got some love, but not like, I felt like I needed to just keep it going, like keep showing it. And like, cause I really believed in it so much. And I just kept on like creating, trying stuff. But it kind of came about in a time that, I had just got laid off from corporate, unknowingly that happened. And it really gave me this space. Like, I felt like the universe gave me this space to really just open up and like go all in on this. Like, what could it be? Like, how can I like just test things and not really, I'm not going to lose, right? Like, right. I'm like, what can I just try and like put out there? And, so that's kind of how it came about. And then from there, it just started like becoming this movement. And I wouldn't be this movement without people like Jasmine, you guys, TJ, Cheryl Swoops, like the people who have like elevated this on WNBA threads. And so that's been like the community around it has just like, they've like shown so much love to what I've created.
Well, this is Heather's story though.
Yeah.
So Heather, this is your story. We're here to hear your story, but I'm Jasmine. I'm the founder of Round21. We're 6 years young in bringing a more creative and expressive point of view through the things we love. And for us as a community, we love sports, we love athletes, and we want to find new ways beyond the game to connect. And so artists, in our opinion, capture history as it's happening. And everything Heather just said about a feeling or just being a part of something was inspiration for her. And we're always listening to what artists are talking about doing. And we saw her take advantage of create a trend, create almost like an iconoclastic like mashup between this very masculine accessory, the tie, with something, supremely supportive and empowering for women. Just by putting them together, an artist is making a statement. And we wanted to support in any way we could, which originally was, reshares on Instagram and comments on threads. But when she clearly wanted to make this something that felt like it was just, something around somebody's neck, but a real movement, we basically asked, how can we help?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All it takes is one person.
Right. One real opportunity.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Heather, you did talk about how the ties got started, but we want you to go a little bit more into it. Tell us more, like, when did you know that you had to keep building on it? Just go a little bit deeper.
Yeah. I feel like it's all moved really fast. So before this podcast, I was thinking in my mind, like, of all the things, like, I feel like taking a moment to pause and be like, whoa, all these things that you've done, because I remember them all, but it all happened like within so fast. I taught myself how to sew. I'm not the best, but I'm like, I'm going to teach myself. I'm going to try these new methods to just get my concepts like on the materials. And but I guess like, a big piece of it was just vintage shopping, like thrifting, and bringing the circular fashion into it, because I feel like there's so much waste, and thrifting is just more fun, and it's like better environmentally anyway. Like it's and so there's just something about a vintage tie and that the WNBA logo woman that was just hit. Like it just looked so good, and it's like 101. It's so unique in its own way. And I worked at the Seattle Storm, was my first role, like coming out of college in merchandise. So I knew in my mind, this is like a licensed logo. You know what I mean? All those things go through your mind. And I'm like, I want this, like legit. And so how can I start making this be official? And that was my main thing that I was like working towards for the last few months. And that's where Round21 has come in and been like, let's do it together. And working under them, I'm not able to do that. And we can build together onto building out the tie assortment.
I think I was following you before the ties because of sneakers. So yeah, I love your sneaker collection. And so when the first time I saw the tie, I was like, oh, I like that. It's like, I'm not wearing ties right now, but I like this. And then to watch it just go up, and then you see Cheryl Swoops in it, I was like, oh wow. I was like, I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her.
Oh, it's wild. Like I remember, those moments where it's like, is this real? And I'm, and like I remember where I was because I had overnighted that package to Cheryl, and I'm like, I don't know if it's going to get there in time. We'll see. And then I'm like, let's put the Aces on. We're at a bar. I'm like, let's put the Aces game on. And I'm like, oh my God, she's courtside.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to take a photo, right? I was about to take a photo of the TV. And then guess who? The first person who sees everything, I feel like, quick in women's sports, TJ.
TJ.
And she's like, you did it. And I was like, what? The best photo, because the Aces had taken one and stuff. But that was like such a moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we do want to know how you two came together and what it made it feel like a right fit for both sides.
Yeah, Heather, I don't know if I remember how we originally connected.
Yeah. I think, I mean,
I might have hit you on, I might have DM'd you.
I had a DM, yeah.
Yeah.
And we just started, I mean, I feel like the women's sports, like we're just connected. I feel like everyone like wants to lift people up and elevate, and like, how can we help you do this? Like everybody is so kind. And so Round21 like DM'd me, and we kind of, Jasmine and I just had conversations of like, where do you see this going? And like, how can we be a partner to you? I feel really grateful because even working with Jasmine and having like her time available to meet with her when I do, it's like a mentor almost to me at times. And so I feel like I've learned so much because I've never done anything like this. And so to have someone like Jasmine, have just so many people helping me lift this off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Round21's whole business model is independent artists in formation with teams, leagues, and athletes. So we say, without you, there is no us. It's kind of, it's a part of our model, is like the artists get their role, and as somebody out there doing what Heather was doing and succeeding, I'm sure the original DM, we should find it, was probably like, if you ever need any help, let me know. And we originally went to the W with, give Heather a license.
Yeah.
We don't need to be involved. Like we are here to support independent artists. And the W is very supportive of the tie movement and Heather's work, and basically feels like with the opportunity and the infrastructure and, shipping and compliance and things like that, like setting up for success would be better together. And so we're here essentially as a operating system to help Heather. She's the designer. It's her identity. It's her, even she's like interfacing with some of the teams directly, all good. It's her brand, right? It's Heather's, artists and all of us have our own brand. And so the upcycle approach at the origin, actually, it was important to us to keep that as the origin of the W ties that were officially licensed. And actually, I have it up here, Heather. She put on the hang tag, I chose this tie and made it fresh again for WNBA fans everywhere. And she signed her name. And we wrote, made with, I mean, making it fresh, right? That's what she does from her feet. Made with no waste and built to last. So the thing about Heather's movement and the tie as an accessory, and it's like a piece of someone's personality, is if you're in early now, you're actually going to be in parts of this movement that may go away, right? Because to scale, upcycling and, you know, making this feel like it's handmade, it can be very difficult to scale at that level. But if you're in now and you're early, I mean, Heather still handwrites and goes to the shows that she presents at. Like, it's a real opportunity to be still part of something early with the W, as so much of us know how cool that is as time goes by.
Yeah. So, Jasmine, did you guys know each other, or did you just see the opportunity within Heather's product? And
I'm sure I've been following you for a while. I think it is that. And I know TJ too, from a similar, like 2020, she's a sneakerhead. She's doing pull-ups back then. I'll never, you know, all of a sudden she must be hot. Her shirt was coming off. I was like, this girl's getting fit. So it's kind of in the spirit of support that way and always keeping an eye out for artists. And Heather at the time, probably when I started following, was corporate, right? That's where you were earning a living. And so it was probably around fandom. But as soon as she started to self-identify, or as I like to say, like the primary identity, because that's like we all have multiple identities, but her primary identity became artist and designer. We always want to be able to help. I've literally created a business that won't exist without artists. So even if it's like, yeah, I'm cool. Like there's somebody I'm talking to about the US Open this year. She is an incredible designer. She does not need our help, but she doesn't know people at the US Open. So that doesn't mean we have to do product together, but I can help her with people at the US Open. So that's the spirit of it.
I love that approach. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Heather, what's one thing you've learned from working together that you take into the future?
Oh man, I want to share like so much of what we're doing, but I know it's like stay tuned, because that's where I feel like I've learned a lot is like scaling and like growth and like forecasting, like, you know, because learning that I'm one person, so I can't like make these. So we had, you know, these storm ties, and I was a creative mind behind these. I sourced all these ties. But we had someone in California embroider them as part of Round21. So like being able to figure out like, and knowing like your like a flow of that. Some days are like all your operations day, or some weeks you're more operations. And like I haven't been in the creative. I'm still in creative, but I'm not using my hands right now. I feel like I'm more like doing this behind the scene logistics stuff, trying to get ready for things. There's times where I wanted to be like, I can't believe this is happening, but then I don't let those words out, because then I'm like, I do though. Like in June, I put out there, like, I want the W ties in all the team shops. That was my main goal. And so to have this Seattle Storm take a chance and like bring them in and pop up for the holidays, I don't have a comfort zone anymore or something to fall back on, but I have all this freedom to like create and like not be in a box, like use my voice in different ways that I was shut out on. And so for me, it's just like, I kind of forgot the question because I'm just going off now on what
I love it.
I forgot the question.
That's okay. That just tells us how much, I mean, you believed in yourself and you kept going and just found resources when you feel like, you know, everyday job that we go to, we don't have that ability to have that comfort zone anymore. You lost that, but you kept going and you poured into something that you were super passionate about. So we understand, and we love that you just want to keep talking about it, because we love to hear about it.
It's like when you bet on yourself, you have to get bigger. right? You have to make yourself bigger. You can't just, I go to work, I get paid. No, it's all on you. So you have to get big. You have to be, every idea you have, you're trying to just throw it out there, like see what's going to stick. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
why not? And I think
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, I don't know, it kind of also lit this different fire under me too, because I think not like I want being laid off from corporate part of this story, but it is definitely part of it. And I think that a lot of people are going through corporate layoffs.
Right.
And so it's like, it doesn't have to be this like negative thing. And there's a place you can come from that to be something even greater, you know?
I feel like the
So,
further you get away from it, the smaller it'll be in your story. So maybe just because
yeah.
it's kind of new, it's kind of big, but
Yeah.
in 5 years, you can be like, oh yeah, I did get laid off, huh? Well, look at me now.
Yeah. I'm
You
like,
know?
who were they? No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So this one is more for you, Jasmine. Before you collaborate with another brand or artist, what values or non-negotiables have to be aligned?
Oh, we're deep in this right now, actually. I think the motive needs to be like publicly clear that it's about expression or connection.
Okay.
That is why we're doing what we're doing. I came from corporate and left it intentionally to go and start my own thing. It's actually much easier where I came from than what we're doing. So the reason I'm doing it is expression and connection. I want that to be my legacy, and that's why we, are so dedicated to the artist community. And artist really is defined as people who have a point of view. You don't have to be a textile artist, a graphic designer. You could be a musician. You could be somebody with just a conviction and a community, and being able to communicate that through product or through sports is a vehicle to bring people together or empower expression. So there's a lot of opportunities within products and sports that have nothing to do with connection and expression. They're really lucrative. It might be, hey, we want to do this big insert brand here hoodie, and if you'll do it, you can come with us to Super Bowl. Well, what do you want to say? Well, we want to put our big logo on the front. That's not for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're building we try to operate as like a cultural glue. And the brands, for example, when they associate with Round 21, they're actually, it's not a billboard moment, it's access to a cultural glue. Like, it's access to bringing people together. So what do you want to say is really important. And it should be something that we feel is optimistic, it's empowering, it has a rallying cry behind it, because that's the kind of brand we are. And then from an expression perspective, ideally, and this is what we've heard from the community, and Heather's product accomplishes this, when you put on Round 21, it should feel like it's an extension of you, not the team, actually. That's the little 51% role that we play by empowering artists of different backgrounds, different lived experiences, socioeconomic realities, gender identities, et cetera, is that they have designed it. And when I chose that, like an art gallery, I chose that Round 21 piece, I put it on, I first feel like it extends who I am. Like, I'm wearing this is not Round 21, gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
This is from Melinda Travis, who owns Mile 44, an agency out of Southern California. Like, she made this for her community, and I support Melinda and what she's doing. It's saying something about me, right? I'm going to wear something that says something about me. And that's the goal of Round 21. When I was growing up and I played pro basketball overseas after college, and I coached for a number of years, the logo on the left chest, the swoosh, said I was an athlete. Well, this generation doesn't need Nike to say they're an athlete. Right. They know they're an athlete. They want what they wear to say something about who they are. So every opportunity, to go back to your question, has to anchor in expression or connection, and then we can have a conversation.
I think for me, I was put onto the brand in 24 at All Star.
Okay.
That we met Shima, right?
Yeah,
we met Shima.
Yeah, Shema.
Shima had I think you had a really dope activation at WNBA Live.
Yeah.
That's what I love, looking at all the different activations. So that's why I was like, oh, I like this brand. Let's get into it. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah,
And
for
what's her name? Art Deal her. I
yeah.
was in Charlotte for a
Oh,
little
Yeah.
while,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I
yeah,
love all of her pieces. I mean, like her personal pieces and the pieces that she's done with you guys too. So I
Yeah,
like that
shout out
approach.
Passion.
yeah.
Yes, she's amazing. And there's a lot happening in Charlotte this year in sports, less so W right now, but
Hmm.
we plan to hook back up with her. Really, really great artist. And so those are
Hmm.
the stories too that go beyond
Yeah.
the game that keep us, I think, really interested as fans of women's sports. It's the entire narrative. And we try to capture that. But I'll answer the question, if you don't mind, around the pinch me moment, or the thing that I was so unexpected
Oh
was
yeah,
actually
absolutely.
in
Sure.
23 when BG came back from Russia,
Mm.
getting the call from her agent to my personal cell. You know, what?
Right.
Right.
And the first question I asked Lindsay was, "Why are you calling Round 21?" She's a Nike athlete, and they said because Nike will make her a character in their story. You'll give her a platform for her story,
Hmm.
and that solidified the role we play in
Yeah.
sports,
Mhm.
and that reinforced that we are here for the people,
Yeah.
which continues to be true with opportunities like what Heather's building.
I
Yeah.
love moments like that where something happens and just reinforces your vision, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
like you said, solidifies you. You know that what you're doing is worth it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would have got
I'm
chills
more
too.
100% like 100% gonna support that outside of Nike because it's just so authentic.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
of course. So Heather, what's been the biggest challenge? And Jasmine, you can also answer as well. What's been the biggest challenge, the biggest advantage of building a brand specifically within women's sports culture?
I get custom requests, and I had to sort of stop those for a while and
Hmm.
just say I'm only doing them for athletes right now. And currently, I'm not taking on any just because I want to stay really focused in my lane on building. And I really want fans of the W to be able to have a piece, have a tie. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want it to just be like a drop and then they're gone. And so I really want it to be like what's coming soon, to be intentional and people can actually have their own. And it's not like you're not going to get some, if you
Hmm.
have to be quick to get online, which is great. I think, that women's sports merch is wanted like that. Like that's amazing. Like we've come so
Far,
far,
very
from
far.
when I did
Yeah.
merch in 2010 or whatever.
I would say that the biggest challenge is there's like three things, and I had the privilege of time while Heather was answering. So I'm sure, Heather, you'll come up with some more. We're just so empowered that we don't really think about them. But
Hmm.
number one is there's still a majority out there who is interested in being convinced about the size of the prize. That
Mm.
is true, the size of the business. And I think that is coupled with the second challenge, which is the old is still in control and the new is moving in.
Hmm.
And so I spend a lot of time um, within a reality of a business in my head that is empowered by independent artists and team leads and athletes that believe in connection and expression beyond the game. But when it comes to products or otherwise said merch, those gatekeepers and the people that have built a business around commoditized products and $35 tees have a lot of trouble understanding what we're building.
Hmm.
A lot of energy, etc. So I think building it our way on our terms just takes more time and takes more capital and takes more infrastructure being built, because the way it's been done is going to stay the way it's been done unless somebody comes in and does it a different way. And then the third thing is, I think the cliche in a macro, like we're all fortunate, like we're going to go off the Zoom, our the algorithm's going to play to all our friends in the
Hmm.
feed, and so we get this insulated like reality of everybody supporting each other and seeing the familiar
Hmm.
faces 4 times a year
Hmm.
at tip off and all-star and playoffs and finals, etc. The macro, though, because they think this is a small pond, tends to want one or two winners.
Hmm.
Mm.
And I see a world where the people that have been building for 6, 8, 10 years in this space will all win.
Mhm.
And I hope the people that have been in the space 6, 8, 10 years believe that and continue to build with us, because I'm seeing some decisions being made where now only one person can. I'm like, we're all still the best at everything we started. It's everybody else that is the competition or the instead. There's nothing here. Like, and I can't imagine what it's like with like commentators, because like we love them all, right? But a network might say, oh, well, I only need one female commentator for that. That is not true. And so having those dynamics shape like how the early and the like endemic eventually rise together. Hopefully we all continue to rise together, I think is really in our control, and not starting to feel like the rise together needs to just be one of us make it. Does that does that resonate with you?
There's
That's
room
really
for more than one person. Yeah,
that have been here, you know? So anyway, that was my high horse.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
I'll add on to that too. It's like there's not, there's a lot of there's brands like, Esther's doing really cool stuff with Player Society and like Round21, and then there's Nike, and then there's, I think that they're like those two brands, you and Esther, that you're building, and the stuff that comes out of they're just like the best I've ever seen, like the best merch in the game, period. And I don't even like I honestly don't even really buy Nike W merch, like, because I don't need to. And so I think that you guys are building these communities where it's like kind of, we got to have a Nike for the jerseys or like the things that they have
for now.
For now, isn't it? But it's like it doesn't feel as intentional and connected to those pieces that they're putting.
Yeah.
I think 2 episodes ago we had Lift and Legacy on, and they make the MVP hat. And we were talking to them and saying like we loved it because it felt authentic. It's good quality. It's like that they love what they're doing and they try. You can see it through the product. With Nike, it feels very corporate. Here's Asia's face. Here's a shirt, right? It's not like we love this community just as much as you guys. Let's give you some unique, cool stuff. It's very cookie cutter, if you will. So that's why we like brands like you guys.
Yeah. And shout out to them too, because like they're doing such cool stuff. I have like, I think 3 of their hats now. I met Andy at Climate Pledge at the Stu Bird game.
Nice.
And so many people were in their hats at that game. It was insane, and they sold out within like minutes or something.
So shout out to the Seattle Storm for really opening and taking it. I don't want to take a chance, but giving opportunity to smaller brands. I love that. Yeah.
Big time.
I mean, I might be biased. They're like one of my top teams, so.
We sold you, Heather. Don't worry. Anyway, I was like, she will come to your holiday pop-up. Will you take these? And they were like, she's going to work it? We're like, yes. And they're like, okay.
I was there. I'm like, I'll go a couple hours. And I ended up being at that pop-up all day. But I have a couple of friends that work for them still. And I'm like, well, it's fun. This brings me back. Like, why not? Got to meet some of like the W Threads community came through. And it was cool.
But that story alone just shows that there's room for everybody, and Seattle has obviously opened the doors for you, Lift and Legacy. There's so much more to come, and I'm super excited to see what other brands you collab with. Round21, that just goes to show you right there, that story alone. That's awesome.
Both of you guys are ex corporate. Is there anything you had to unlearn about that life to work your new entrepreneurial life?
I mean, I don't think I learned how to ask for permission, but they want us to learn how to ask for permission. So I think that was something maybe early on, but I've always wanted to kind of break things. So there wasn't really that. I had to learn a lot, not unlearn a lot, but like as a founder, you're the head of IT, customer service, product development, CMO, etc. So that's a Swiss Army knife that no one's prepared for, I think, until they do it. But Heather, what about you?
All the things, to unlearn. I think for me, I'm like fresh out of corporate, so it's like I think the structure of like unlearning that piece, because for me, I was so like get up, meetings, you know, not a whole lot of pouring into Heather, like, because it's like and I also feel like unlearning, or like wrapping my identity so much into a brand, because what you can love it, you can love the brand, but that's not who you are. That's just a piece. And so for me, I think I get so passionate about things where that was a lesson learned for me to, I can love it, I can do a good job, but I don't need my identity wrapped so much into a brand.
When people look back at the W Ties around 21, 5 or 10 years from now, what do you hope it represents beyond the product itself?
Ooh, that's a really great question. Man, I hope it represents community, um, like what women's sports deserve, which is something fresh and unique, and looking back and building onto that years from now. Um, Assortments like that are not cookie cutter, that it just continues, and they're the merchandise and for women's sports has just continued to get better and better, and thoughtful and intentional, where it's not just screen printed whatever out there. So I hope it starts that. I hope that it started this movement where we can have cool things in this league, and this is what the fans deserve. And I've always thought that, even back in 2010, I think we might have been one of the first teams who brought in Pride merch, and we brought in like Stride Line socks, I think, and some other, I don't, it was like, I feel like when you have the right people in place to create these, you know, like movements and products, and really believe in like what you're building.
Yeah, for us, it's a sense of belonging that you're a part of the creative side of sports. That's the mission that we're on, because I think, again, to go back when we all played, the belonging for a certain brand might have been that I'm a team sport athlete like Under Armour, or the belonging to a certain brand might have felt like, well, I'm excellent, which was what Nike tries to include, you know, in everything they do. For us, is belonging to the creative side of sports. And that's like the macro, when somebody sees somebody else in round 21, that they'll give each other the eye, like they know that you're a part of the creative side of sports. Functionally, actually, there's an interesting reality I hope we create, which is so much of sports and culture in general around identity is, oh, it's AAPI month. Oh, it's Juneteenth. Oh, it's women's sports. And there are these boxes people want to put people in, and the people let the box be the time. And we happen to do a lot around cultural identity and sports and products. And for us, in whatever time it may take, which is actually, it's happening now. Shema was the artist for the Juneteenth product in 2024. It's this beautiful representation of the WNBA logo woman reimagined as kind of parts of the whole, and in the Pan-African flag. People wear that 365, 12 months out of the year. That legacy for us feels like like it's already happening, which is the identity of the person who went to a Clippers game for Korean Heritage Night, as an example, or, you know, even Seattle Storm did 3 artist drops with us, with local artists, like being proud that they're wearing it way past game day, because it's an extension of who they are, and seeing that at scale is a legacy point I hope that we achieve.
Would you consider your brand unisex, or yeah, okay.
We consider ourselves gender inclusive.
Okay.
And, you know, similar to, I think, some of the other properties in sports, like the Gist speaks about the NFL and speaks about, but they position themselves as like for or from the voice of women. I happen to be a woman of color who founded a brand. I happen to have played basketball. So women's basketball kind of comes naturally to me. My whole network is in women's basketball. I'm not going to go away from that, just because, honestly, a lot of kind of bigger orders and bigger business can be done. It's just so important to me to stay true to what I know best and what I love the most. But I don't want to become a cliche where, oh, you are a woman of color who created a female sports brand. I am bigger than that. I have influence that is bigger than that. And we currently have an NBA relationship. We have a World Cup position with the Mexican national team. We have MLS, but it's all still through the lens of the creative side of sports. And that's really our anchor. Women's sports, and the W in particular, is our core. It is the WNBA is our core. It's not just a category. But I think the creative side of sports should persist everywhere sports exists, and serving artists of all backgrounds and all identities, and really seeing that come to life through products people wear and collect is kind of the impact I know we will have.
That makes sense, because I mean, lately I've been thinking this started as a WNBA focused podcast because we like to see what they have on. We want to take pieces and add it to our collection. But lately I'm seeing the hockey players, I'm seeing the soccer players. I'm like, I think we need to expand a little bit, because across all the sports, these ladies and people look great. So I mean, I'll take that as advice, really, so we can expand and where we show love to everybody, because it's a good time right now.
Oh, what I was going to say is, do you guys know Bria Janelle? She's the on-court host for the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, the Dream too.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Both are right. Mm-hmm. To see her be the on-court host for NBA All-Stars, that's what we're talking, or that's what I'm talking about. With our influence is way don't put us in boxes. Don't narrow the impact. So I'm so proud of her.
Sure, that's where we started, and that's our core. Yeah. However, we can expand and handle anything.
Different things.
Yeah.
Women in general, we're just like that.
Right.
We're just like that. We can handle anything. We can be in any space.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I think that's a good reminder, though, Jasmine, not to put yourself yes, that's our core, that's our love, is the W, and but we don't have to. We can expand, and we can,
if we want to.
If we want to, yes. Yeah. But
All right. It's time for our game.
You want to get into you got it. Kick it off.
All right. So we're going to play Start, Bench, Cut. Everybody familiar?
Yeah, I've seen this. Yes.
Okay. So we'll give you 3 options, and you tell us which of the options you would start, which one you bench, and which one you cut. Okay. All right. So the first one, think of different jerseys. So W jerseys, Unrivaled jerseys, and Athletes Unlimited jerseys.
This is pass.
I can do it.
I can't answer this.
Okay. Can I answer it? I don't know. Yeah? I don't know.
You can answer. Yeah.
Okay. Unrivaled, W jerseys.
And Athletes Unlimited.
Oh.
You're not alone. This gets everybody. This game gets everybody.
I was gonna say, I should have showed some more love to Unrivaled too, and everything they're doing. So just throw that out there. I kind of lean towards Unrivaled.
Okay.
Because they're doing things that have not been done before, and I mean, their jerseys they just look cooler. They're just more fun, I think. I don't know about the cut silhouette wise. I don't know what retail, what they're selling. But I just remember the W jerseys, they used to be really boxy. I'm trying to think what they're like now. I have a Sue one that's semi newish, and it's I guess the Rebel jerseys are cool too, the Nike ones. I'm gonna give it to Unrivaled, though, I think.
So you're gonna start Unrivaled?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you benching? W. And cutting Athletes Unlimited.
Well, that's so bad.
It's not bad. It's just hypothetical. No. It's just hypothetical.
No, Sydney Colson goes to AU, which happened. I think she's now that changes things, I think. That's why I refuse to answer, is because I think there's value in all.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And I know you know that. I don't want to be put on the hot seat. But yeah, I root for the people, and there's people at all 3.
Yeah, same. That's my answer too. But I'm gonna play the game.
Okay. Yes.
That's fair.
Good one, guys. Good one.
So your tie. Start bench cut, worn to draft night, worn to an all-star game, or to a ring ceremony.
Her face.
Like where if it's worn to those events,
Yeah.
which one?
Yep.
All-star, draft night, or
Ring ceremony.
ring ceremony. Well, it's already been worn at All-Star last year. No, I think draft night I would start.
Okay.
I think that'd be so sick to have my tie like W tie or custom. So let's start that. Sit All-Star, and then the third the ring
ceremony.
ring night
Okay.
ceremony. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same actually. Start draft because you're all business.
Yeah.
Got to be all business. Bench for sure, all-star. But, it might be like coming out of the suitcase or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then cut ring ceremony, I think, is like low cut, high heels. Like you. Yeah. So diamonds are at some point,
Yeah.
Now,
I feel good about that answer. Yeah.
from some of our earlier conversation, you might not answer this next one, but I'm still going to ask. If you had to pick your next collab, would you pick, again, start bench cut, Vegas, New York, or Toronto?
That for the ties or for Jasmine?
For the ties.
Oh,
ties.
Toronto, Vegas,
In New York.
New York.
Vegas. That's tough. I really want to get Stewie in a tie, so I kind of feel like I have to start New York.
Okay.
And then I'll sit. But Toronto is a new team, and but I gotta sit Vegas and then Toronto.
Okay.
I still love Toronto. I want to work with Toronto, but that's how.
Of course. Okay.
I would take a different approach on this one. The tempo have been super awesome and open and collaborative. It's unbelievable how they've taken the like community position up front, I think. So I would start Toronto. I would love to see what they're after the storm, I'm going to where there's demand, right? And so the tempo are open to creativity. And of course, up next is the Liberty. They've been super supportive and obviously have a great fashion kind of sense. And then cutting Vegas only just because like black and silver, it's tough to, can't compete with that seafoam.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There's so many options with
I know.
the Liberty.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the last one.
Last one. Okay. So start bench cut and a fit, matching sets, mixed texture, or monochrome fit.
Okay. Why do I keep forgetting all monochrome, matching, and
Mixed.
What was it?
Mixed.
As in like that's the fit, like, or that's like the
textures.
The texture.
Like,
Okay. I'm gonna always start silk paisley. I don't know. That's I feel like you can't go wrong if it's a neutral paisley. Maybe it's a black paisley.
Okay.
With a white logo. And then we'll sit what was it again?
Matching set.
Monochrome and matching sets.
I think matching set. Oh, yeah, matching set, then monochrome.
Okay.
I think.
I'm cutting matching sets. I've never worn a matching set since I've been over the age of 2. So I'm off that.
Right.
I would bench monochrome. I think as a brand that stands for expression, I got a mixed textures. So I'm starting mixed textures.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, I mean that wraps it up. Thank you for playing the game. It's fun. We know we're not pushing anyone away. It's just playing a game, and so thank you for that. Thank you for a great interview. solely just love the things that you guys are doing. Jasmine for pouring into the community and seeing the opportunity and taking advantage of that. We love it. We want more of it. We want to see more of it. We can't wait to see.
Can't wait to see what's
Hopefully we
next.
get to see you at All Star.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You're in Chicago, right?
I am.
Yep.
I am.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, just let me know. Let us know. We'll definitely be down to connect with you all. But that's a wrap for Tunnel Fist Podcast Season 3. Heather and Jasmine, thank you for joining us.